Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Nelson's Performance here. You may hear a little bit of background noise of the wind and rain that we got going today. It's raining pretty hard outside, so we're going to make a little video today showing you where I'm at with it. This is day one. I may be a few hours in. I have both fenders removed. That was really straightforward, super easy to do. All you have to do is remove these bolts right through here that go down the firewall, and also the ones on the grill support that run right down through here, and also these running right through here. It's super easy. I didn't want to make a video on that mainly because nobody wants to see drawn out videos of you tinkering and pulling stuff off that, you know, common sense could do. But today we're going to take off the grill, the radiator, the engine, trans, and transfer case, and I'm gonna try to make videos that's, you know, informational, showing what I do, what I've learned, and go from there. The one thing I will say, I'm gonna have to figure out as far as the wiring on the fuse block, how I'm gonna keep certain things and take out certain things and make the harness as clean as possible. I don't want a bunch of wires running everywhere. I don't want it looking like that. So we're gonna go on and I'm gonna show you some more. Okay, so here I am now. I have the radiator pulled, I have the starter disconnected from the Jeep, I have the transmission lines, the fuel lines, all that's cut. It's basically ready to be unbolted. All the other stuff such as the drive shafts and everything, I'm gonna try to pull it out all in one piece. I may separate the transfer case, that way it's a little bit shorter, easier to maneuver. My biggest problem is getting it over this winch right here in the bumper. I'm gonna try to leave it on just because I don't want to try to take it off, but if I do have to pull it, make it easier, I might end up doing that. But you got so much room in here to work on stuff. Everything is just, it's open, it's so easy to work on. You got a lot of room in it, but we're gonna go ahead and start pulling a little bit more off. Okay, so here we are. I have the belly off. I got it unbolted with these bolts right through here. We got the custom cross member for the 4-link suspension setting up, holding the drive shaft, keeping everything in place until I can get some blocks under it, a jack, and hold it up, the transmission, because there's nothing that supports this once you remove the belly. On a factory Jeep TJ, this member is not here. So once you drop this, there's nothing holding up the transmission and transfer case on the back end, all the weight's on the motor. So now what I'm going to be doing is finish removing everything, getting the drive shafts unbolted from it after I've gotten the transmission blocked up and jacked up so it's safe, and then I can remove the transfer case and then be able to remove everything out of the front of the Jeep. All right, so we're here now, day 2 on pulling this engine. I've maybe got 10 hours in on it. I'm working here and there. I'm gonna show you where I hooked to the engine to help pull it out. I used a ring bolt on the AC compressor bracket up front, and then on the back I removed the head stud and then put a chain through the head stud bolt and run it down back into the block, so it's gonna pick up on the back of the block. So we'll go ahead and see what I've done right here, and you can see right there and also back in here. So all of it's disconnected, drive shafts. I removed the transfer case, took that out. That was a little bit of a job, but as far as everything, it's going pretty smooth. I haven't really run into big issues yet, just the normal stuff that you're gonna have, removing stuff covered in mud and rust and things like that. But we'll go ahead and I'll show you underneath it what it looks like. So everything's removed. I have a jack underneath the transmission to help hold it up because I don't want all that weight on the engine holding it back. So it should be coming out pretty easy. I removed the muffler and all that. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to try to remove it and walk it out without removing the bumper and the winch. So we'll try to get that out now. Okay, so now I got the motor out. It's on the engine stand. I got the transmission with it. So all that's going to be out. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to keep on the harness now. That honestly It was a big wiring mess. And none of it's really labeled, so you're gonna have to trace it back, figure out what it goes to keep the fuse block is what I'm probably gonna try to end up doing. My fuel gauge wasn't working. I tried everything. I ended up just cutting the wires about 4 foot out. That way I can just rewire it right and know for sure that there isn't a broken wire or something shorting out, and I got everything straight. So here's what it looks like now. The engine bay is empty. Everything is easy to get to. I'm pretty sure the body control module is that harness that I left right through there. So now what we're going to do is just go through, and I'm going to label all the wires to see what I trace them back to know what I'm going to keep. I'm going to go around the engine just to make sure there isn't anything else that will be needed or used, and we're going to go from there. So here I am. I got it cleaned up. It looks good, and I got all the mud and dirt, oil, gas, grease, everything off of it. So it's like how I want it. I've took the fuel cell out, and I'll go ahead and show you some of it. The RCIs, they're real cheap. They're thin gauge aluminum. They crack with vibrations. Mine hasn't cracked yet, thankfully, but I ordered a nice moto-built fuel cell. They're hard to beat for the money. They're top-notch quality. Welds are perfect. It's a really nice kit. But I also had a cradle that recessed this fuel cell down in here lower, so it's a full 15-gallon tank, but it just sits lower. It just doesn't have that tall appearance to it. It looks a lot cleaner. It's almost even with a tailgate. So what I've run into is the fitment of this fuel cell. It measures out the same, and it's just a little bit too big. So I'm gonna have to probably cut this, widen it, and then weld it back. Just give that little bit of relief so it sits down in there snug. I'm also going to add some foam of some sort underneath it to keep the vibrations where it's not metal on metal. Maybe just to help out, maybe with sound and stuff like that. But that's all I'm going to do today. I'll continue to record, like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment what you want to see. This is just a new project for me, first time doing it. So thanks for watching.